Look at the color on this. This is gray.
What thumb do you think this is?
Gray. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Welcome back, guys. Behind me is a 2020 C8. Yes, this thing is 4 years old. This customer tracks his car like every single weekend. It has a satin or a matte PPF on it now, and we are doing the entire thing all over again. We were not the shop originally to do it. I don't know who did it. That doesn't matter. But with this being a 2020, the patterns available for this car weren't that good yet. So now we have a little bit more up-to-date stuff. But I mean, when you're doing a conversion, you want to hide as many seams as possible. And with it being white, I mean, it's just looking really raggedy and just a better job to come for sure. The customer's really unhappy with the rear bumper, mainly just because it gets so dirty back here. But you can see the lines that this pattern has in the relief. What we plan on doing is actually removing this whole front bumper, and then I'm doing the entire rear bumper in one piece to eliminate all those seams. On top of that, we are redoing all of the graphics on it and just getting this thing looking like it needs to, ready for the season. All right, guys, so like the one thing you should do when you're converting a gloss to matte is taking off the emblems, and you can see how dirty it gets. It's just ugly, but like, look at this. Yuck. It looks like it was hand cut all over around. He's missing his V. It's just adhesive there. So we're gonna get him new badges, take all those off, put them back on. Can't even tell. Look at the color on this. This is gray.
What thumb do you think this is?
Gray. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Sorry, this guy.
Last time I saw you, we were going over the car, what has been done, what hasn't been done, fenders, rear quarters. The only thing else that we've done since I saw you guys last was more gloss pieces, and the wing, diffuser, all the black on the front bumper. So now all that's really left is front bumper, doors, which we need to put a graphic on, which Tyler will put on here in a minute, and rear bumper and hatch. And then this thing is gonna be done and ready. Now we're onto the bumper.
Working on white cars is more of a pain just because you go ahead and squeegee and then boom, there's a hair somewhere, and boom, you got to go back and fight it, and then when you go fight it, you might add another 2 or 3 hairs, so you got to like really know how to like pick your battle sometimes, and get it pretty clean install at the same time.
It was clean.
That's what I'm talking about. It was clean, and then do you see that?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm talking about right there.
To follow up on Mo's install of it on how white is so difficult. So we washed this car, we clay bar this car, took auto body solvent to get all the glue off from the original install. With this car being a track car and it already having like 40,000 miles on it, we've already cleaned. You can see how water pulls dirt from under the trim pieces. This is why it's so important. We even use the air hose, blow all this stuff out. This is why white is one of the hardest things to do. And then you're adding the conversion to gloss to matte on it, so then you want to really get it right up to the center like it should be. But as soon as you put water in there, it's going to suck dirt right back out. You just have to be 100% with every squeegee, or else you're going to make this way more difficult than it has to be.
This just keeps coming out and out. It's like this car is like a house of hair. You know what?
How many hairs have you had to go through?
Bro, at least 10 right now? 15? It's gross.
Nah.
This is disgusting, bro. We're finishing up the front bumper here. It was a challenge, but no challenge is big enough for the All-Pro boys here.
Oh yeah, clearly.
You saw that we had some minor difficulties, but it came out pretty solid in my book. And if you don't like it, you know where to find me, bro. It's like, come to the shop. It's like.
All right, although this car had PPF all over it before, you can still take PPF off and they'd not be perfect under the paint protection film. Claying this is going to ensure that we get any bits of adhesive. This dude does track his car, like we've said numerous times, so I'm sure there's spots where the rocks and pebbles have eaten up this bottom section here, and it just leaves a little bit of a grit, if you would. So clay barring is going to take that grit off and make this smooth as possible. That way when you put the new film on, you're not going to have little halos of air or any weird things under the film. Now it's going to be a brand new door and a brand new piece of film with no imperfections. Alright, so we were going to lay this hatch in one piece like we always do, but upon further notice, we take the emblems off because the emblems were not removed before for paint protection film. It looks like the shop that did it before hand cut around the emblem when they installed this piece, and they cut the paint all the way around. Now, either way, there's dirt in the actual impression on the paint. I just tried to polish it. It's not coming out. Now we need to wet sand this and get it back to perfection, because I do not want to put PPF over a stain. That's not good. Steven's going to do this, then we'll slap it on, then we'll see you.
We have 95. Yeah, we'll finish it off.
Last piece. Alright, last time you saw me, we were going to try and get this halo out. Steven wet sanded it, polished it, and then it's not coming out. So, we unfortunately have to put PPF over the mistake of another shop, but nothing we can do. I don't know if it's a cut or if it's an impression, but it's a dirty outline. Can't do nothing about it. So.
1 hour later.
All right, we got it somehow. Had a 60-inch, we made it work. There's actually not a lot of texture in here. It is a ton of stretch, but with the right tension displacement, as you can see here, I'm cutting these little slivers, little flags, little slivers. That way, because there's so much tension here, otherwise this is going to bridge up. Cutting this is going to allow lat to just settle in, rest all weekend, chill, have a beer. It'll be fine. Just one.
A single beer.
Just a singular beer. In order to make this work, you can't just, especially in the 60-inch, this was about 63 inches, 64 inches. So me and Mo had to gain a lot, considering PPF terms, a lot of film. So what we did was cut this U out in the center here around the glass, tack the center, and then that allowed the two ends to really come forward together, which is going to add that extra material from the very corner, like this. Otherwise, you're going to be short here. Cutting this out and then tilting this forward, this corner of film here actually comes up. So I think the film was actually about here. So I mean, we gained probably 6 or 7 inches of material, even though it's a 60-inch. But just turning it and allowing it to fall in place gives us more material, which is why we were able to do it in the 60. But on gloss, I'd rather do 72. So much easier, and we don't have to fight with texture or anything else. But this has a few little bubbles that are going to dry over the weekend. There's no air, there's no texture. So all in all, I think this thing went pretty well. Speechless. He's speechless, guys. Look at that.
Damn.
One eternity later.
Rear bumper C8, 10 out of 10. Don't recommend. This is very difficult install. Gee, thanks, man. It's a very, very difficult install. The only reason why we did this, was really the whole point of redoing the whole car, because the customer did not like all of these seams that were here on the car. So this was the only option to get it with seamless. I mean, legit seamless. The only seam that we're going to have is above the little, it's literally a 1/4 inch seam right in front of the spoiler, so you're not even really going to see it. Still have some touch up to do, obviously. It's still going to be trimmed. But we put all the extra material under the spoiler where it's going to sit here, which allowed us to get this whole top in one piece along with the whole bottom. The only reason why we didn't do anything here is because he has a black plate that is going in here, so we didn't really have to worry about that. But definitely difficult. No relief cuts. It's all one piece. So
How long did it take?
oh, it took a solid 2 hours.
2 hours, bro.
We started at around 3 and we finished probably 5:15. So yeah, very, very different. Probably the hardest thing one of the hardest things I've ever done, next to like a Shelby kit car. But same thing with the hatch. That thing is just 10 out of 10. Never again. This guy got the real deal. So.
Graphics.
Yep. Other than that, Tyler is putting on graphics. These are the same ones that we had on before, but obviously fresh and clean, dirt-free, dust-free, damage-free. All that's left really is a few more little decals all around the car, ceramic coating, and this thing's gonna be done, and we'll see you outside. Alright guys, last update before we see this thing outside. Mo's laying the final pieces of film. We gotta rivet these back on, lay a few stickers, and we are ready to rock. So we'll see you outside.
When I washed it and got into the shop, my hands were off of it. Greg and his team did a wonderful job. We were just talking about it. I think it's the best work he's done so far. It reminds me of a car that every man wants when he's a kid. And it's been an honor working on it. And then we're finishing up with a ceramic coating.
I think he's saying, oh.
All right, guys, the finished product is here. Me and Mo are so excited to finally have it outside. Although this is literally the exact same car as the beginning of the video, this thing looks way cleaner. It just speechless. All of us are just speechless at the shop. We took all the graphics off. We took all the emblems off. We took the full rear bumper off. We disassembled the doors. Now this customer is not going to have a cutout around each emblem. If you remember earlier, there was a cutout of a dirty line. You honestly can't even really see it anymore. And then this is no longer an oval around these. And this is all on top of the PPF, so there's no cutout on each individual letter. Slapped his black plate on where the license plate goes, and then we wrapped the bottom here white. He wanted that to be white, and then just the physical diffuser to be black. I actually kind of like it. And then we put matte PPF on top of that. That way it matches the car. Headlights were beat up. We took the old film off and put new smoked PPF on here, and now they're fresh and clean. Honestly, this whole car looks like a brand new car. It's got 20,000 miles on it already, and you would never even know. Paint protection saves lives. Tyler did the graphics, the little skulls up front, the American flag with 53, which is probably his race number. Like I said before, this customer tracks his car almost every weekend. The Jack's stickers. We got our logo here, and then we got some other logos that he has that he wanted us to put on to really bring out that race car feel. So some other cool things that we saw while we were working on the car, this customer has actually put all of the track outlines of the track and all the tracks that he's been on. I know VIR's on there, Road Atlanta. He also has a paint matched engine cover, which is kind of cool. That really adds a nice touch. His second roof in here, because he has the carbon roof on top. It's just amazing. All of us at the shop love this project. I know you guys did too. Stay tuned, we got a lot more coming. This customer is actually dropping off another full body project for us. We'll see you next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.